There are big changes in the greater Seattle area that are transforming the entire region. In this video, we delve into the biggest changes reshaping the greater Seattle area, from evolving housing policies to expanding transit systems, and explore how these shifts might redefine your lifestyle. Let's start with housing, because this is one of the biggest stories in our area. Seattle and many nearby cities are under pressure to create more housing. Washington State has said it needs more than 1 million additional housing units by 2044, and that pressure is showing up in policy, zoning, and long-term planning. One of the biggest drivers is Washington's middle housing law, House Bill 1110. In simple terms, this law requires many cities to allow more housing types in areas that used to be dominated by single-family zoning. That includes things like duplexes, triplexes, fourplexes, townhomes, stacked flats, and cottage housing. Seattle adopted permanent legislation to implement those changes. For Seattle, that means many resident lots can now support more than one home. In many cases, at least 4 homes are allowed, and in some areas near major transit, that can go higher. So instead of one detached house on a lot, you may start seeing multiple smaller homes, townhomes, or cottage-style developments. You're also continuing to see more ADUs, accessory dwelling units, and DADUs, detached accessory dwelling units, which have already become a very common part of Seattle's housing landscape. The bigger picture here is this: Seattle is trying to create more housing options, more flexibility, and more inventory, especially in areas where demand has been strong for years. Another shift connected to housing is the push toward more neighborhood scale convenience. The long-term direction in many cities around the region is to create more walkable, connected areas where people can live closer to transit, services, and small businesses. In terms of mixed-use growth, neighborhood nodes, and better day-to-day accessibility. Seattle's One Seattle plan and related zoning work are part of that broader direction. Another major conversion happening right now is taxes. Washington still does not have a broad state income tax for most residents. However, in 2026, lawmakers passed a proposal often referred to as the Millionaires Tax, which would apply a 9.9% tax to annual income above $1 million, starting in 2028, if enacted as planned. Supporters say it would affect relatively small share of households and raise billions in revenue. Opponents argue it will likely face major legal challenges. As of mid-March 2026, the legislature has approved it, and it's headed to the governor. Even though this would not affect most households directly, it still is a major policy shift to keep an eye on, because it could influence the broader conversation around business climate, migration, and long-term state tax policy. Now let's talk transportation, because this is one of the most tangible changes people are actually going to feel. One of the biggest transit updates in 2026 is the 2-line Cross-Lake connection between Seattle and the East Side. On March 28th, Sound Transit began connecting Seattle to Mercer Island, Bellevue, and Redmond, including the opening of Judkins Park and Mercer Island stations. For years, people have talked about better transit between Seattle and the East Side, and now that connection is finally becoming a reality. And this comes after recent light rail expansion to places like Lynnwood on the north end and Federal Way on the south end, which has already expanded the reach of the regional system. Longer term, there's still bigger projects in the pipeline, including Ballard, West Seattle, Tacoma, Everett, and Bothell. Although those are farther out, the overall trend is clear. This region is becoming more connected, and access to transit increasingly is shaping where people want to live and where future development is happening. By the way, if you're new to the channel, I'm Cheryl Dillon. I'm a dedicated real estate expert specializing in the greater Seattle area. Feel free to reach out to me. I help people just like you navigate the dynamic shifts in the housing development every day. and uncover prime opportunities tailored to your lifestyle and investment goals. Let's jump back in and talk about another major shift toward the continued push toward walkable urban hubs, not just in Seattle. It's also in the surrounding cities. The Seattle waterfront is a great example. Since the viaduct came down, that entire stretch has been reimagined with public space, improved pedestrian access, new connections between downtown and the waterfront, and major public amenities. Pier 58 reopened in July of 2025 as part of the broader waterfront project. Outside Seattle, you're seeing similar ideas take shape in places like Lynnwood, Everett, and Mukilteo. In Lynnwood, Northline Village is planned as a major mixed-use project near the Lynnwood City Center station, with housing, office space, retail, restaurants, and entertainment. The city also has the district vision around the event center area, aimed at turning a more auto-oriented zone into a true civic and mixed-use center. Lynnwood is quietly becoming one of the most important growth areas in Snohomish County. If you haven't taken a close look at Lynnwood lately, now might be the time. There are some major changes happening that are going to reshape not just the city and the way people live, work, and spend time there. The goal: to transform what has traditionally been a very car-dependent area into a true civic and lifestyle hub, where you can live, attend events, dine, and connect all in one place. This is part of a much bigger shift happening across the Seattle area. The growth centered around light rail, more live, work, play communities, less reliance on driving everywhere, more emphasis on lifestyle and convenience. When you combine transit plus development plus lifestyle design, that's often where we see the most long-term growth. Areas near major transit and mixed-use developments tend to attract more buyers over time, see increased rental demand, offer stronger long-term upside potential, especially for buyers looking for convenience, connection, and future value. Lynnwood has historically been known for its shopping, and it's now stepping into something much bigger, a true destination with identity, energy, and opportunity. If you're curious about housing in Lynnwood or wondering where the next smart move areas are before prices fully reflect these changes, I'd love to share what I'm seeing with you. In Everett, the redevelopment at the Everett Mall into the hub at Everett is part of a broader effort to make that area more active and experience-driven, including the planned Topgolf component. If you've driven past the Everett Mall over the years, you may have noticed it hasn't exactly been a destination, and that's exactly what's changing. The mall is being reimagined into a modern, experience-driven space designed for how people actually live, shop, and spend time today. Even if you don't live in Everett, this is part of a much bigger trend happening across the Seattle area. Moving away from indoor traditional malls, creating live, work, play environments, and designing spaces where people actually want to spend time. When you see developments like this, it often leads to increased local activity and foot traffic, new restaurants and small businesses, job growth, and over time, positive impact on nearby home values. Projects like this don't just change a shopping center, they change how a neighborhood feels. As areas become more vibrant, walkable, and experience-driven, they often become more desirable, especially for buyers looking for convenience, lifestyle, and community. And those shifts can create early opportunities for both buyers and sellers who are paying attention. Everett's one of those areas that has been quietly evolving, and this project is a strong indicator that it's stepping into a new phase. In February 2026, the Port of Everett said that it had advanced property acquisitions and was preparing to seek a development partner for its long-discussed waterfront revitalization vision in Mukilteo. Mukilteo is balancing its historic coastal identity with a bold future. The waterfront redevelopment, a 26-acre transformation from Lighthouse Park to Edgewater Beach, has officially moved into the implementation phase. For homeowners and investors, this timeline is the city's most significant value driver. Plan centers on a full waterfront revitalization with ideas that include a pedestrian-friendly street, restaurants and retail, small-scale housing, a wide beach promenade, and expanded public access designed to create more welcoming, walkable destination for the community. To move this vision forward, the port has been strategically assembling land along the waterfront. In February 2026, commissioners approved the transfer of the former 1.1-acre NOAA site and authorized the purchase of Ivor's Mukilteo landing property at 710 Front Street for $10 million. Ivor's is expected to remain in place under a long-term lease. The port has also acquired the former ferry terminal parking lots and holding lanes, bringing more of the project area under coordinated planning as it works toward a cohesive redevelopment strategy. According to the Port of Everett, the goal is to activate the waterfront in a way that benefits the community, strengthens public access, and creates a vibrant destination for residents and visitors alike. Mukilteo's waterfront will look very different in the coming years, and this is a development story worth watching. And finally, let's talk about the east side. This is not exactly brand new, and it's becoming even more noticeable. Bellevue, Redmond, and Kirkland continue to benefit from job growth, newer development, strong schools, and increasing regional connectivity. Part of what's changing in the Seattle area is not just growth overall, it's where that growth is concentrating. As the light rail improves, the east side access and companies continue to expand their footprint outside Seattle. Cities across the lake are becoming even more central to the region's future. The result is that for many buyers, the Seattle area conversation now includes the east side just as much as Seattle itself. Thanks for tuning in today as we explored the evolving landscape of the greater Seattle area. Remember, whether you're currently residing here or considering a move, these changes could redefine your lifestyle and opportunities. If you have any questions or need any guidance on where you fit in this dynamic environment, feel free to reach out. I'm always happy to answer questions, talk strategy, and help you make a smart move when the timing is right. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.